Hey all, welcome back to Fire and Water Cooking. I am Darren, of course, and today we're going to do a spatchcocked chicken on my brand new Lone Star Grillz El Fuego Trio, and we're going to use the charcoal and wood side today. And you can see I got that door open, got my charcoal basket ready. I'm actually going to, I got some lump in there already, but I'm going to show you how I'm going to get it started. But spatchcocked chicken, I'll be right back. We'll get started.
Smoking, grilling, getting hot and hotter, sous vide and chilling from fire and water.
All right, guys, spatchcocked chicken. You should know this by now if you've been watching YouTube cooking videos for a long time. Spatchcocked chicken just means you remove the backbone and you flattened it out, so you got your breasts on. Your half chicken's pretty much laid out like this, so it's still connected, but take that backbone out. It's going to cook faster and cook more even than if it would if we kept it whole. I'm going to season it up with my soon to be released black and gold honey barbecue seasoning. I got this coming out here soon, guys. You'll be able to order it. It's still in process, but I'm hoping within the next month or so it'll be ready to, you guys could start ordering it. This is a combination of like a South Carolina, East Carolina, and all different kinds of barbecue, all rolled into one with that sweet, smoky black garlic as the base for it. So we're gonna go ahead and get this seasoned up because I want it to kind of brine a little bit. Right now, we're going to let it sit there, like I said, until the smoker comes up to temp. I'm going to use the Typher sink here to moderate or monitor the temperature of the internal temperature of the chicken and the external temperature of the cooker itself. I'm going to use the larger of the two breasts here and right in the middle. We're going to stick it in there just so we can see that it's working. It's under 40 degrees or so. That's what we're going to use to monitor the cooking temperature and the internal temperature, besides the thermometer that's on the hood of the cooker. So, all right, let's go get this fire started. I'll be right back. All right, I'm going to go ahead and use my trusty grill gun to go ahead and get this lump charcoal started. I got about 1/4 of a basket of Kamado Joe lump charcoal, so I'm going to go ahead and just get it going right here in the middle of the pile. That way it can kind of spread out when it starts to get going really good. And once I get the embers going really good, which only takes about 5 seconds to 10 seconds with the grill gun, I'm going to take my cherry wood and just place it all around that area so that once the fire starts getting going really good, the wood will start to catch and the smoke will start coming out. So I got about 6 or so pieces of cherry wood here that's gonna smoke this chicken up today. All right, guys, once that starts getting going pretty good, I'm showing you how my vents are set up. Since we're smoking on the charcoal and wood side, we're gonna have the vents on the bottom open and the door, and then the smoke and heat is going to flow this way through the top vent on the lid. So that's how you want this set up for wood and charcoal smoking, or if you were just using it as with wood. As you can see, guys, that wood's already starting to get lit. You can see the smoke coming right out of the side vent there. So that tells me that the air's flowing in through the bottom, coming out through the top, just like it's supposed to be. Thermometer's starting to move already, and it's only been about 3 or 4 minutes. All right, guys, it is sitting right at about 2 1/4 right now, and I think it's time for me to get this chicken on because I want to get a good amount of smoke to it. And this is the lower temperatures is where the smoke is produced the most. And I'm going to put it right over here on the pellet side so that the heat comes this way, the smoke goes that way. And I'm going to put my Typher probe right here, kind of facing the fire, so that kind of gives me an idea what the temperature is coming this way. So let's go ahead and get that closed back up, and then I'll let you know once this thing hits temp. We'll come back and we'll take a look how it's doing. One of the things I really like about this cooker, guys, is, as you can tell, I got two sides. I got the pellet side over here if I want to do something quick and just want to use the pellets and not have to mess with it. Then I've got the fire side over here where I can use charcoal or real wood. I can also use real wood splits on the pellet side to get some extra smoke, wood flavor to it. It's really the best of all worlds in this package, guys, and it doesn't take up a whole lot of room. I mean, it is pretty big, but it doesn't, it's one package that kind of can do it all. All right, guys, it's just over 300, so I'm going to back these down to about half. So halfway open on the top, and maybe I'll leave it 3/4 of the way open on the bottom, because I know it's got to be hotter on the bottom. It's not anything like I would do my Kamado, because the Kamado is a lot less open air, and it's a little bit tighter. So I would normally tighten those down pretty close to almost being shut to get that 250 range, but this I'm gonna have to leave open just a little bit more, I think. So we're gonna kind of monitor this, see if it starts moving backwards back down to that 300 range, or if it keeps moving hotter, we'll back it down just a little bit more until we get it set. Hey guys, I just wanted to show you this disparity I have with the Typher ambient temperature reading on that probe that's right there, great level with the chicken, and what's showing up here on the dome here on the lid. So we're pushing 3 1/4 on the lid thermometer and right in the 272 or so range on the Typher. So you're always going to have some kind of disparity there, especially because that chicken is sitting down close to the chicken, which is cooler as well. I'm going to go ahead and spritz this up a little bit. It's been about an hour, and that chicken skin is looking pretty good so far. All right, guys, so it's been a little over an hour and 15 minutes, and as you can see, still showing 3 1/4 on the dome. It's showing about 290 or so on the Typher. So what I'm going to do, I want this to cook a little faster. So instead of it being over on the cooler side here, I'm going to move it over right above the fire. And I'm going to turn it around a little bit so that the probe is facing this way. But as you can tell, we got pretty good color on it so far. I'm going to spritz it again. It's going to help that skin crisp up and attract just a little bit more smoke. All right, and we're going to leave it on here until we get close to our finishing temp of around 155 or so. All right, guys, we're close to being done here. It got up a little over 325, close to that 350 mark, which is okay since we're cooking chicken. I'm not really caring about if it gets up to that 350. We're still cooking at a good temperature. We got plenty of smoke on this chicken for sure. It's still got some smoke coming out of it as well, so we didn't even burn through all that smoke. But I've backed the vents down pretty much all the way for now, so we can let this kind of slowly cool down while the chicken is finishing up. I'm going to give you a look at it right now. I did take the pan out because it seemed to be slowing down the progress of the cook. So look at there. Got some nice color to it. It's pushing right about 150 right now, so we're almost done. I'm just going to let it ride just a little bit more, and I'll see you over at the cutting board. All right, guys, the probe just told me this is ready. I had it set for 155, knowing that it was gonna, that carryover cooking is going to bring it up to that 165 that I know everybody will say it needs to be at. But take a look at the color on that, guys. About a little over 2 hours, and it started cooking a lot faster after I took that pan out. So I think if you're going to cook something in here, don't have a pan in there. Just go ahead and put the meat on directly, and you probably have a better chance at it cooking all the way a lot faster. So, but take a look at that, guys. It looks pretty awesome. Like I said, this new barbecue rub, you guys are going to have the availability to get this here pretty soon. It's got a lot of classic flavors, and like I said, it's got a little mustard in there for the South Carolina. It's got a little bit of heat, a little bit of sweet, a little bit of that savory as well. So it's going to be really good. Well, let's go ahead and stop talking, and let's take a bite of this. Actually, let me get the probe out. See where it's at right now. Yeah, that's at 160. So it's slowly still cooking. Well, let's take a bite right here in the breast. Woo! Still really juicy. Nice and smoky there too. See that smoke coming off? It's really juicy. Mmm. Plenty of smoke flavor, guys. Skin is a little crisp. Could have been better, but if you hear it, it is kind of crispy. So it's definitely not soggy at all. There you have it, guys. Spatchcocked chicken on the El Fuego Trio Lone Star grills using wooden charcoal. Works perfect. Thanks for watching. Let me get this on the table. And watch more for more cooks. I'm going to do some more different types of cooks on this cooker because it's so flexible and unique. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Like, subscribe, and share.